After more than 5 months since my AIMA appointment, I finally got my residence permit. That's right, I got the card. If I want to be, for the next 2 years, I can be a legal resident of Portugal. But it may be too little, too late. My name is Howie. This is Positively Portugal. Let's get into it. Now it's about my career. I am no longer restricted to remote positions at non-Portuguese companies. I can work almost anywhere I want to work. And that's a good thing, because there are almost no American companies that want to hire an American living outside of America. I found that out the hard way. I knew it would be a challenge. I knew that there would be not a lot of companies that want to do that, but I really was not expecting, almost nobody wanting to do that. Well, I shouldn't say nobody, no company wanting to do that. So now most of the restrictions are gone. I can work a Portuguese job. But look, there are some issues right now. I am working, but I'm working for a company that's not legitimate. One that's on the brink of going out of business. One that owes me money. And financially speaking, it's not the biggest problem in the world. I'm lucky that I'm in Portugal, where I do have somewhat of a cheaper cost of living than I did in Florida. It's not a lot, but I get by. I'm actually a very simple man. I don't need to live extravagantly. Never have, I never will. But there are challenges. It's like if I decide that Portugal is not going to be the place for me, how long do I wait? In 2 weeks, I'll have been in Portugal, Guimarães, for 10 months. Am I supposed to give it a full year? A year and a half? I don't know what the answer is. I'm getting frustrated. And the reason for my frustration is not really financial. It's lack of patience. And I guess that's the native New Yorker in me coming out. I really don't have patience for the processes and procedures of the Southern European way of life. Sure, I can apply for as many Portuguese jobs as I want now, but do I really want to just wait for answers? I don't have any definitive proof that these things take longer than in the United States, but judging from everything else, I can kind of put 2 and 2 together and figure out that it is going to take longer than it does in the United States. And that being said, finding employment in the United States is not a fast process. There are multiple interviews. A lot of companies want to have trial runs, either in the form of assessment tests, which for somebody like me is actually insulting, or case studies where you're supposed to do some sort of work for them, like an example of what you would be doing. And here's the thing, you're not getting paid for that. They want free labor. And they're probably going to take your ideas, and whether they hire you or they don't, they're going to take your ideas, they're going to take your work, and they're going to find a way to profit off of it. They got free labor. It's like hiring an intern. So moving to Portugal has not been a good thing professionally. It's been great for me personally. My health is best it's ever been. And I'm happy. I do like it. I know I don't come off as happy, but I really enjoy living here. I absolutely do. But I'm running out of patience. I said this in a previous video that nothing works properly here. And it's true. An example of this is the post office. And I know what you're going to be saying, that, well, you're American and you know that the United States Post Office or Postal Service, you know that they suck. And you're right. The United States Postal Service does suck. But somehow, Portugal found a way to say, hey, hold my beer. You see, I got the notice of my residence permit Tuesday. and it was put into the communal mailbox. In my building, there's no personal mailboxes. There's one big mailbox for everyone who lives in the building. The mailman did not try to knock on my door, did not try to ring the intercom or reach me in any way, because I was home that whole day. And he sees that it's coming from AIMA. I mean, it could be a she. I shouldn't say he. Mailman. Could be a male person, a male woman. I don't know. But this person saw on the back of the notice that it's coming from AIMA. So he or she had to know that this was important. AIMA is not sending me a birthday card. They're not sending me a postcard from Madeira. Hey, wish you were here. No. If AIMA sends you anything, it's going to be important mail. It is the job of this mail carrier to try reaching out to the person. And the mail carrier did not do that. So I get this notice. I see this notice in the communal mailbox as I'm leaving the building that day. And I go to the post office. Lo and behold, I can't get it until the next day. So I'd spend the whole day, the whole night, wondering what this is. Is it good news? Do I have my residence permit card? Is it bad news? Are they telling me to take a long walk off a short cliff? You don't got to go home, but you can't stay here. I don't know. My intuition told me it was good news because I really did meet all the requirements to get this residence permit. So, but you know the way I am by now. Hope for the best, but expect the worst. So finally, I get it the next day. And I get my residence permit card. It was funny, the post office opens at 9:30 in the morning. I got there at 9:25 thinking, oh yeah, this is going to be a snap. I'll get it, no problem. The streets are empty. Well, I get to the post office, which is inside of a mall, because everything's inside of a mall here. A continent is inside of a mall. I get there, there's 7 people ahead of me, and I say to myself, God damn it, this is the only thing that people here do on time. But I finally got it. I got my residence card, and yeah, I can stay here another 2 years. The interesting thing about that was it came to me 13 days after the card was issued. I don't understand why AIMA or the government can't come up with a system that says, why don't you just call the person to say, pick it up? Save some money on mail expenses. I would have been more than happy to pick it up at the AIMA office in Portugal and save myself 13 days of worrying, of stress, of wanting to tear my hair out. Could have been an extra 13 days where I can say to Portuguese companies, hey, I'm here. I'm legally here. I can work here legally. But I guess that system is a little too complicated. And I had an unbelievable experience with a Portuguese employer. One of these companies that hires a lot of people and doesn't really have a good reputation. It was in Lisbon. I would have had to have relocated to Lisbon. So they contact me. I was not the one who contacted them, by the way. Tell me about this position. They asked me, do I live in Lisbon? I say no, but I've always wanted to live in Lisbon. I'd be happy to move there if the opportunity is right. So they say to me that, or the recruiter says to me, well, we can't continue this interview because you don't live in Lisbon. What the hell does that mean? I'm in the country. I'm telling you that I would be willing to relocate to Lisbon. Maybe you can tell me about this position that you called me for. I didn't call you. You called me. So finally, I get it out of them. They tell me what it pays. And I said, that'll be 2/3 of my salary. And you want to tell me that you don't want to continue on with this interview because I don't live there? Guess what? I have a residence permit. Do I need another residence permit for the city of Lisbon? I've got this fly here that just won't leave me the hell alone. And then I had an even better experience with an American company a couple of days later. I had this interview, and it starts off Well, we don't really care where you are. We'll still mail you a computer, whatever kind of equipment you need. And I'm on this interview with two people, and I gotta say, it was the greatest job interview I have ever given. Everything was going right. There were two people on it with me, and everything was flowing out great. My experience, my personal life, my accomplishments, my future goals. There's no stuttering or anything. There's no stammering over my words or the other way around. The conversation was just flowing so naturally, and the sun was shining and the birds were chirping. I actually rated this interview on a scale from 1 to 10. I thought it was like a 9.75 or 9.8. It was easily the best job interview I've ever had. And it lets off, well, before it lets off, it was supposed to be a 30-minute interview. It became 52 minutes. And it kind of lets off like, well, you'll be hearing from us real soon. Wink, wink. I was very confident. I could not have been happier with how that interview went. And again, easily best job interview I've ever had. Well, they didn't care, but 2 hours later I get an email saying, hey, Human Resources cared after all. Not us, but HR did. So they can't continue. Okay, well, I'm fortunate I still have my non-legitimate job to work, but this is just another challenge that I have to face here. This is the reality of coming to Portugal on a D8 digital nomad visa. Big difference from the D7 retirement/passive income visa. I can honestly say I don't think I would recommend doing this on a D8 unless you are 100% not confident, but in love with your job. And your employer is 100% in love with you. So if that's not the case, even if it's like 99%, maybe you should just wait for retirement or get some real estate and rent it out. Get your passive income. Come here on a D7. I don't think I could recommend a D8. So should I stay or should I go? I don't know. But in the next 2 to 2.5 weeks, I'm going to make my decision. If I go, there will be trouble. If I stay, it could be double. So if you want more videos about moving to Portugal, the process of getting here, Portuguese football, anything Portugal related, please like the video, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications. These are the best things you can do to help a content creator on YouTube. I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll be back here soon.